walked along, he saw a man who was blind from birth. Jesus' disciples asked him, "Rabbi, who sinned so that this man was born blind? Is it he or his parents?" Jesus answered, "Neither he nor his parents. This happened so that God's mighty works might be displayed in him. While it's daytime, we must do the works of him who sent me. Night is coming when no one can work. While I am in the world, I am the light of the world." And after he said this, he spit on the ground, made mud with saliva, and smeared the mud on the man's eyes. And Jesus said to him, "Go, wash in the pool of Siloam." This word means sent. So the man went away and washed, and when he returned, he could see. The man's neighbors and those who used to see him begging said, "Isn't this the man who used to sit and beg?" Some said it is, and others said, "No, it's someone who looks like him." But the man said, "It is me." So they asked him, "How are you now able to see?" He answered, "The man they called Jesus made mud and smeared it on my eyes and said, 'Go to the pool of Siloam and wash.' So I did, and now I can see." They asked, "Where is this man?" "I don't know." Then they led the man who had been born blind to the Pharisees. Now Jesus made the mud and smeared it on the man's eyes on the Sabbath day. So the Pharisees also asked him how he was able to see. The man told them, "He put mud on my eyes, I washed, and now I see." And some of the Pharisees said, "This man isn't from God because he breaks the Sabbath." Others said, "How can a sinner do miraculous signs like these?" And so they were divided. Some of the Pharisees questioned the man who had been born blind again. "What do you have to say about him since he healed you?" He replied, "He's a prophet." The Jewish leaders didn't believe the man had been blind and received his sight until they called for his parents. And the Jewish leaders asked him, "Is this your son? Are you saying he was born blind? How can he now see?" His parents answered, "We know he's our son. We know he was born blind. But we don't know how he sees now. And we don't know who healed his eyes. Ask him. He's old enough to speak for himself." His parents said this because the authorities had already decided that whoever confessed Jesus to be the Christ would be expelled from the synagogue. And that's why his parents said, "He's old enough. Ask him." Therefore, they called a second time for the man who had been born blind, and they said to him, "Give glory to God. We know this man is a sinner." The man answered, "I don't know whether he's a sinner. Here's what I do know. I was blind, and now I see." And they questioned him, "What did he do to you? How did he heal your eyes?" "I've already told you, and you didn't listen. Why do you want to hear it again? Do you want to become his disciples too?" They insulted him. "You are his disciple. We're Moses' disciples. We know that God spoke to Moses, but we don't know where this man is from." The man answered, "This is incredible. You don't know where he's from, yet he healed my eyes. We know that God doesn't listen to sinners. God listens to anyone who's devout and does God's will. No one's ever heard of the healing of the eyes of someone born blind. If this man wasn't from God, he couldn't do this." The Pharisees responded, "You were born completely in sin. How is it you dare to teach us?" And they expelled him. Jesus heard they expelled the man born blind, and finding him, Jesus said, "Do you believe in the human one?" He answered, "Who is he, sir? I want to believe in him." Jesus said, "You have seen him. In fact, he is the one speaking with you." The man said, "Lord, I believe," and worship Jesus. Jesus said, "I've come into the world to exercise judgment, so that those who don't see can see, and those who can see become blind." Some Pharisees who were with him heard what he said and said, "Surely we aren't blind, are we?" And Jesus said to them, "If you were blind, you wouldn't have any sin. But now that you say we see, your sin remains." one of the young men in our congregation was receiving his Eagle Scout Award. And since he was, even though the church that sponsored the troop wasn't ours, because he was a member of our congregation, he requested that the Court of Honor be held at our church. And as the pastor of the church, it was his pastor, I felt that I probably ought to go, so I went. And I was getting out of my car when I noticed the pastor of the church that sponsored the scout troop. I recognized him by sight. He was getting out of his car. And we never actually met, so I walked over and I said, "Hi, I'm Dan. I'm the pastor of this church." He gave me the strangest look, and he says, "No, you can't be." Somebody didn't tell my bishop that. Apparently, I did not meet his preconceived notions of what a pastor should look, sound, and be like. He had sight, but he couldn't see. And both of today's stories deal with sight and blindness. The story from 1 Samuel. Samuel's unable to see behind it. He's on his mindset. He's kind of like that pastor. He knew in his heart, in his mind, he knew what a king ought to look like. And when Abinadab, or whatever his name is that I can't pronounce either, George, comes walking by, he's, "That's him. That's got to be him." God said, "No." And God's had to set the record straight. Pay no attention to how tall and handsome he is. I've rejected him because I don't judge the way people judge. They look at the outward appearance. I look at the heart. And then in the gospel lesson, a man who's born blind receives the gift of sight. But the Pharisees, blinded by their strict observance of the law, can neither see nor appreciate this miracle of grace. Yeah, just like my fellow clergy couldn't see me as a pastor, they couldn't see Jesus as a Messiah because he didn't meet their preconceived notions of what the Messiah was going to be. And I think sometimes we suffer from that too. Sometimes what we're looking at and what we see aren't always the same. It's easy to see what we want to see that which fits our ideas and our preconceived notion. The captain of the Titanic, remember the Titanic? The ship that couldn't sink? He would not believe the ship was sinking until he was standing in the mail room, in the telegraph room, and the water was coming up over his feet. Ships that could have arrived in time to help folks weren't summoned until it was too late. And then, of course, there's the legend of the U.S. aircraft carrier sailing across the ocean. There's another ship coming. The captain gets on the horn and says, "Divert your course to the left." The other ship says, "No, you divert. This is a ship of the U.S. Navy. I order you to alter your course." "No, sir, I can't do that. You need to divert your course." So the admiral gets on. "This is Admiral J.W. Eyes of the aircraft carrier USS Coral Sea, and I order you to divert your course now." "Sir, this is Lighthouse Keeper John Jones. I respectfully suggest that you alter your course." Saul, the first king of Israel that God had chosen, had disobeyed God, and that had been the cause of his rejection. But even though God had rejected him, he hadn't been removed from power yet. And so when God told Samuel to go to Bethlehem and anoint the new king, Samuel was afraid. He says, "If I go, Saul's going to find out and he's going to kill me." But he went, taking a heifer with him, and disguised his purpose as a sacrifice to the Lord. And as the Lord had instructed, he invited Jesse and his sons to join him. And after preparing Jesse and his sons, Samuel has all of the young men go in front of him so that he can select the one that God has chosen. And God remains silent. Finally, Samuel says, "Is that all you boys?" "Well, there's the youngest one," Jesse said. "He's out in the fields tending sheep." "Send for him," Samuel said, "because we can't continue until he's here." So Jesse sent and brought him in. He was reddish brown, he had beautiful eyes, he was good looking. The Lord said, "That's the one, go anoint him." So Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him right there in front of his brothers, and the Lord's Spirit came on David from that day forward. Now for Samuel, this was a difficult assignment. Samuel had been the one who anointed Saul. He had been the one who advised Saul. He had come to love Saul as a brother. And so he found it difficult to let go. Sound familiar? All of us sometimes have trouble letting go of things that we no longer need. Am I the only one here who can't put my car in my garage? I see another hand back there. Okay. That's kind of the position Saul was in. And God helped Samuel was in, and God helped Samuel in two ways. First, God reminded Samuel that he needed to accept God's judgment. How long are you going to grieve over Saul? I have rejected him as king of Israel. So fill your horn with oil and get going. I'm sending you to Jesse of Bethlehem, because I've found my next king. Sometimes it's hard to accept God's judgment. We fear the unknown. Our imaginations run wild at the thought of what might happen. I can't do that. If Saul hears about it, he's going to kill me. Well, the second thing God did was to change his vision from looking back to looking forward. Looking back is easy. Looking back is comfortable. Looking forward can be scary or uncomfortable. You gotta love Harry Truman. He told about a new toy that was on the market. It's called a floogie bird. It was a little toy wooden bird, and around its neck it has a sign that said, "I fly backwards. I don't care where I'm going. I just want to see how." George, go turn that thing off up there, will you? Thank you. Did I say something wrong? Flying backwards.
Yeah, flying backwards.
Floogie bird's flying backwards, and he says, I don't care where I'm going, I just want to see where I've been. Well, by involving Samuel personally in the anointing of the new king, God not only changes his focus, but gives him confidence that things are going to be okay. Things are going to be just fine. I'm still in charge. None of us here know what the future holds. And that can be scary. But if we know who holds the future, and we do, there's no reason to be afraid. Now, in our second lesson, the gospel lesson, Jesus was walking down the street, and there's a fellow born blind sitting there begging. And his disciples say, Lord, was it this man's sin or his parents' sin that caused him to be born blind? And Jesus basically says, well, so that was a normal question in a time when it was believed that the righteous people were rewarded with good things and the sinners were punished. And Jesus, like the writer of Job, tries to disprove this false teaching by saying, you're not even asking the right question, guys. You're looking for someone to blame. There's no such cause and effect here. Look instead for what God can do. As long as it's day, we must do what the one who sent me wants us to do. And so he makes the mud, puts it on the fellow's eyes, sends him off to the pool and Siloam and says, go wash your eyes off. The guy does, and he can see. Unfortunately, those around who were not blind could not see. In spite of his insistence, they argued over whether or not he was the fellow who was born blind. Or was it just somebody who looked like him? And finally, since this occurred on the Sabbath day, they took him to the Pharisees to be investigated for breaking the Sabbath. Now, I sometimes wonder if the Pharisees are going to investigate Jesus for doing work, maybe mud, on the Sabbath. Doesn't their investigating constitute work and make them guilty of the same thing they're accusing Jesus of? I don't know, I guess that's another sermon for another day. The man tells the Pharisees what happened, that Jesus put the mud on his eyes and sent him to the pool, and they refused to believe it. Since it was done on the Sabbath, it must have been done by a sinner. And since it was done by a sinner, it couldn't have been done at all. Because God doesn't listen to sinners. Well, how's that for a circular kind of a reasoning? Therefore, this is the kicker. It was done on the Sabbath, so it must have been done by a sinner. Because it was done by a sinner, God wouldn't have listened. Therefore, it didn't happen, which means obviously this man wasn't born blind. So they sent for his parents. And dragged before the Pharisees on the Sabbath, the parents were a little concerned for their own safety and well-being. And when they were asked, is this your son, the one you say was born blind? So how is it that he now sees? And they said, we know he's our son. And we know that he was born blind. But how he can see now, we don't know. Ask him. He's old enough to speak for himself. In other words, that famous political thing of passing the buck. Let him be the one that gets in trouble. We don't want to get in trouble. And so again, they bring the man in and demand to know what happened. And he says, I told you, I told you, I told you, and you don't listen. Why should I tell you again? Do you guys want to be his disciples? And with that, they jumped all over him. You might be a disciple of that man. We are disciples of Moses. This is amazing, the man says. You know nothing about him. But the fact is, he opened my eyes. It's well known that God is not at the beck and call of sinners. But listens carefully to anyone who lives in reverence and does his will. That someone opened the eyes of a man born blind has never even been heard of. Ever. If this man didn't come from God, he wouldn't have been able to do anything. The Pharisee says, you are nothing but dirt. How dare you take that tone with us? And they threw him out into the street. Like Samuel, like far too many Christians today, the Pharisees didn't want to change. We like things just the way they are, thank you very much. In fact, research shows that with little churches like this one, when they start to grow, they grow till they reach just about a certain point, and they not only stop growing, they start disintegrating. Because people don't like the change that comes when you have too many new people around. So they closed their eyes to the sight of something that went against the grain of their thought. When people in power refuse to see things they don't want to see, things that don't support their way of thinking, they're doomed to fail. Jesus heard what happened. He found the man and said, "Do you believe in the Son of Man?" And the man said, "Tell me who he is, sir, so that I can believe in him." Jesus said, "You've already seen him. He's the one who's talking to you now." "I believe, Lord," the man said, and he knelt down before Jesus. And the Pharisee said, "Does that mean you're telling us we're blind?" "Well, if you were really blind, you'd be blameless," says Jesus. "But since you claim to see everything so well, you are accountable for every fault and failure." Everyone in this room has eyes, right? I don't believe there's anyone in this room who's been diagnosed as being blind. Some of us need a little help. But all of us can see. Or can we? Millions of people can look at the world and not see the hand of the Creator. They see only evil, disaster, war, hatred, prejudice, anger, and think that it's all just the result of nothing but a bunch of electrochemical reactions. We can have two choices. We can look and see the Creator, or not. We can be like the Pharisees and look without seeing. Or we can see what the blind man saw. It's your choice.